Nothing will escape.
Hey guys, this is Priest. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about Rengar and probably assassins in general. I'm gonna be honest here. My opinion will probably be biased here and there. Problem is not actually in Rengar himself. It's more about how Riot changed the Division game. There is actually a thread or post on League subreddit, and it says, I think it's most embarrassing that Rengar exists in his current form, Riot repertoire. That's what he said. Embarrassing, eh? How about I shove a spoon up your asshole? The question was, what do you feel is most unhealthy for the game right now? For a singular champion, I think it's most embarrassing that Rengar exists in his current form, and we tend to act like it's not an issue. As for the single thing, I think it's most unhealthy for the game. I'd say it's incredible barrier to entry. So, that's what they say, and there's a lot of comments here. People, obviously, we as Rengar players, we obviously do reign in the game. We are one of the most feared things because we keep those AD carries down. You know, this AD carry meta, we are actually those heroes that this game needs, but not the one it deserves. There's a lot of opinions that this guy says, just my opinion, but I'm pretty sick of Riot saying assassins are so bad for the game and they keep buffing tanks. I think actually tanks lead to an unhealthy game. Number one, not fun to play as against a tank, in my opinion. I'm gonna agree with that. Second thing, tanks are generally way easier to play and really don't teach a lot of mechanics. I also agree with it. Number three, running into a team fight and dashing out damage without being able to die is kind of dumb and pretty easy if you ask me. That's also, I agree with it. The main problem with the game currently is champions don't really reflect their role. I really agree with this. Actually, AD carries are starting to reflect their role right now. Tanks are a little bit, but others are not. I think Rengar actually really does reflect the good role of good assassin. Tanks should be hard to kill with CC but no damage. Assassins should be super hard to play, high mechanic skill with insane damage, but are super squishy. Bruisers are half damage, half tanks, and are most favorable for 1 versus 1. Mages more AoE, magic damage, and so on. I also agree with this. I think Rengar really displays the true assassin. We're gonna talk about it more later. Let's keep on reading. Currently, it's just face roll tanks running around while winning team fights and never dying. Super unhealthy for the game. I agree. Every role should have its identity. Now, Rengar really has his identity. We all know those one-shots and all that stuff, and people hate that. I can understand that. You can, if I was to get killed by Rengar all the time, let's say if I was Caitlyn main, and if I died to Rengar every time, obviously, I would be mad, but I should ask myself, why am I running alone? And also, this game is about wards. I think we actually need a little bit more warding options and also ward removing options, because right now we only have pink wards. They are really cheap, but at the end, late game, you can't even buy wards because late game you have 6 items, you can't, no slot for wards. Maybe they should try to figure something out for that, or maybe simply AD carries should always run around with their supports or, you know, somebody else to not get killed by Rengar. But still, personally, I think Rengar is really displays how assassin should be. He comes in, he really kills you. But you know what? I don't see how Rengar is unhealthy for the game. Rengar needs like 3 items to be able to do like really nice damage to and probably one-shot you. So he needs at least 3 items, probably 4. And right now when they removed Last Whisper, yeah, he probably needs 4. What I'm trying to say, there are other champions who simply run at you, and once they catch you, they just kill you. You can't even count. You can try running away, but you're not gonna run away. Let's say Irelia. Like when Irelia starts running at you, if you are 1 versus 1 Irelia, you're just gonna die. Even when you see her coming, you're just gonna die. Darius, is that fucking healthy? Darius destroying everybody in a team fight if he gets his ultimate. Oh, that's super healthy. Okay, fucking Veigar, that ultimate, that ultimate. Let's talk about Zed, for example. Zed really gets countered. Like, and everybody's happy, you know, and all these Zed players, I am Zed player myself. All we have to do is just keep quiet. We can't do shit. You can counter his ultimate with a simple item that costs 1,300 gold. And that's how easy it is to counter Zed. I mean, it's crazy. Somebody says, big problem is you get assassins like Rengar who 100 to 0 people before they can react. How is that any more fun than a tank? I mean, the guy playing Rengar probably thinks it's Scream and maybe his team enjoys the victory, but anyone who gets targeted by it just ends up feeling helpless. Assassins should be able to snipe people out, but there's virtually no counterplay to the way Rengar is right now. There are videos on YouTube showing you how to counter Rengar. People just group up, and Rengar can't do shit. He jumps in, gets CC, dies. I don't see how there is no counterplay to Rengar. All of these people over here who are against Rengar are those people who walk alone. Assassins, what are they supposed to do? What assassins should do is kill you, you can't even react. That's what assassins actually are. That's why they are called assassins, goddammit. Check the freaking Google the definition. You'll read it. Just find it, read it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how assassins should be played. Now, of course, this is a game, so there should be some counterplay. I mean, obviously, there is clear counterplay. There are so many problems that we should focus on instead of actually focusing on Rengar, how he's... Rengar has clear strengths and clear weaknesses. Try fighting Rengar in a lane, in mid lane, for example. He can't do shit to you if he's not in the bush. And even that, you can outplay him, kill him, whatever. I feel like all these people here who are talking are actually lower elo, because people in higher elo actually understand how to counter Rengar. Rengar's ultimate at level 1, almost the longest cooldown ever. He's second or third. First one is Karthus. Karthus has freaking 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Rengar's has 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Basically, his early game, as far as his ultimate goes, it's shit. That's why we build cooldown on Rengar. But try sieging as Rengar. That's his, for example, clear weakness. Try sieging as Zed. You throw your shadow outside, you start attacking tower. If somebody comes close to you, you go back to shadow, you run away. Sieging as Riven. Just keep attacking. When you see somebody getting at you, just dash out with your freaking abilities. Kha'Zix, if you're sieging as Kha'Zix, just jump away. Rengar, you have to run away slowly, and people are gonna catch up to you. I don't think we should make him a fighter or bruiser, whatever. I would also like to point this out. It's frustrating as hell to get one shot by fed Rengar. However, those kinds of games don't happen the majority of the time. Personally, I think that tanks are the worst part of League of Legends. When I lane versus a Rengar, Riven, Zed, Fizz, Ahri, Talon, any damage focused champion, I feel like there is at least some sort of effort being put in on their part. When I lane as... This is really good point. When I lane versus Shen or Mundo, it feels like I'm working my ass off to win the lane when they just sit, farm, and freeze all day and win lane by default if I'm not proactive enough. They don't really do anything. It's on me to make all the plays and aggression against them. It isn't a fun experience. There are some tanks that I do enjoy laning against. I think that Sion is actually interesting to lane against. He has clear moments of power and weaknesses based around his cooldowns, and the lane actually feels like both of us are competing to win. If Riot wants to continue to dumb down nerf assassins, they should at least make more tanks feel like Sion. I really agree with this point, by the way. Now, somebody says... What's frustrating as hell is getting one shot by an assassin that isn't even fed. And when they get the balancing wrong with assassins, that's what happens. I get that when they are properly tuned, assassins are not a problem. But then again, when tanks are properly tuned, they are not a problem either. Now, somebody really makes a good point. In my eyes, there are 3 situations when an assassin should be able to kill you in one combo. Number 1, if they get insanely fed. Number 2, if it's late game and you failed to itemize properly against the full damage Talon, Zed, Yasuo, and so on. Number 3, if you play into their strengths and refuse to act proactively to them. If the 11-3 Zed strolls bot and kills the ADC standing alone farming, then the ADC probably deserved it for poor play and bad positioning. The real problems come in when an assassin can disregard those situations and kill you anyway. Rengar has that issue to a certain degree because he's supposed to be effective at picking champions off, but when it's I guess easier for Rengar to jump into a team, kill their target and still live, then there's a huge balance problem. So much points are made from people who got destroyed by, you know, these champions, and then they just come here, complain and try to... So much points are made by people who don't even want to try to counterplay. They just... I feel like a lot of people want things to be done for them. Honestly, like, if you don't want to ward against Rengar, if you don't want to group up against Rengar, if you don't want to buy Zhonya's against Zed or QSS, if you don't want to buy a pink for Talon or pink for Akali or CC Katarina, it's clear how to counter these champions. So I don't see a huge problem here. Obviously, if you do something wrong and you get killed, obviously it's your problem, it's your mistake. And that's what most of the times is, actually. I want to read something here that... Check this out. This guy says, this just in. 2 years later, Riot realized Rengar is fucking disgusting. Then Freak comments, one of the goals with old Rengar update was to make him have a longer tail but less burst in his combat with changes like removing AD pen from bow to necklace, giving him ferocity build up system, making his E skill shot, and it worked for a while. Then check this out. Then players got better at Rengar, learned how to land E almost every time, and build up 5 ferocity before popping the ultimate. Isn't it kinda... I don't want to be biased here or something, but if we get better at the champion, if we find new ways, why do those ways always have to be nerfed? I should freaking figure something out and just hold it for myself so nobody can figure out so it doesn't get nerfed. That's how it looks like to me. Of course, if it's super OP, it should be nerfed. Of course, I agree with that. But if we find some nice way, something unique to work for us, I don't see how it, it always gets nerfed. When you figure something out really cool that works, it gets nerfed. I guess I'm getting the idea that Riot is really against assassins. What I'm trying to say in the end is, I think every role should have their own identity, clear strengths and clear weaknesses. That's what it simply is. I want to make one point. Obviously, all these companies that make games profit on the casual player base, which means game has to be easier. Okay, that's why we've seen all these games get easier. For World of Warcraft, great example. I played vanilla World of Warcraft. It was hard as fuck comparing to playing, let's say, Mist of Pandaria or this new expansion. So games are getting easier because that's who plays the games, guys. We all know. Why do people keep saying you stupid 12-year-old kids? Because those are actually the people that play the game. Kids. Keep it real. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but real talk, that's who our player base is. Comment right now down below in the comment section, how old are you? I know I started playing games when I was like 6 years old, maybe younger. I played Sega Mega, so that's how, most of the people that play games are, younger. Older people start having jobs and all that stuff. So let's keep it real. Obviously, you have to make a game easier, and that's what worries me sometimes with these games. It's okay, but I just don't understand it. I think people don't understand how to play against Rengar. They just go in the lane and farm, and then alone, of course. And when they die, they complain how there's no counterplay. Well, you made a mistake going alone when you know there's assassin on the enemy side. If there was a Zed going against you, you would still probably die. Renekton goes again on you, you still die. I was killing people as Garen, goddammit. Garen is a tank. How is that healthy? Obviously, I'm Rengar player and I don't want him to get nerfed. But I just feel he has clear strengths, clear weaknesses. It's simple to play against him. So if you don't know how to play against certain champions, that's your problem. A lot of people come to these forums, these subreddits, and they try to ask for solutions when they don't want to figure it out for themselves. It's not our fault for figuring out how to play our champion. Maybe it's your fault for not figuring out how to play against that champion. There are tools how to counter Rengar, and you don't even have to buy items to counter Rengar. Just group up with your team. You have wards. You are provided with free wards from Riot. Now you have even more wards since this early change. Pink wards are even cheaper. So definitely you are able to counter Rengar if you really want to. Also, I just want to make one point. If Rengar has no counterplay, as you people say, and if he's unhealthy for the game, how come in LCS they don't pick him? Because those people know how to counter Rengar, actually. I just think people should learn how to play against certain champions. Rengar's Q is a melee ability, W does no damage whatsoever, E is a skill shot, and he has ultimate which lets him jump. I don't see how he's hard to deal with, but in the end, of course, we all know that he will be nerfed. Assassins will be nerfed. I just hope that there's a time when all these roles have their real strong identities, strong points and weak points, and maybe that's gonna happen, maybe not. I don't know. So guys, tell me in the comments, what do you think about this? What's your opinion on this topic? I'm gonna leave this Reddit post in the description below so you can read these comments. Other than that, guys, you will always find me here playing Rengar, whooping ass. Remember, hunters, you know what we Rengars always say.
Let's fight!
So bring it on, Riot.
Come on!
No matter what your sorry asses do, remember that.
A true hunter never rests.
Me and my buddy Rengar are just going to laugh at your every sorry attempt to stop us. And in the end, it will be a
Glorious hunt!
No matter what Riot does, we will survive. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more League of Legends and Rengar videos. And that's it, hunters. I will catch you in the next video. Priest out.